views and opinions expressed by callers, guests, and hosts do not necessarily reflect those of the Black Talk Radio Network and Black Talk Media Project. Black Talk Radio is new black media for the new millennium. Good evening, this is Scotty Reed with a Black Talk Radio News Report. Lately, I've been talking about idolatry for about the past couple of weeks. That's just something that's really been on my mind. Now, for those that don't know what idolatry is, we have a story that was published in the Washington Post that is a perfect example of idolatry. But first, let me give you a dictionary definition of idolatry. Idolatry is basically worship. It's worshiping a god. It is worshiping, and if you're reading the Christian Bible, it talks about false idols. That means false gods. And different religions also talk about idolatry. So idolatry is basically a form of worship. Now, you may note that in the past, what we're calling celebrities today, until they changed it up, they used to call people idols, especially when you're talking about programming that is targeting teenagers. These people will be called teen idols, but now they're pretty much all going by the label of celebrity. Why? I don't know. Perhaps to not give people a clue or a connection that they're practicing idolatry. And this story comes to you from the Washington Post. I didn't even read it, but it talks about a SNL, that's Saturday Night Live, a entertainment program that comes on broadcast television. I believe it comes on Saturday nights. I haven't watched it in decades, but there was a story that showed up in the news feed. And so I said, hey, this is a perfect example of idolatry. Here we have this cast member of SNL who has gotten a tattoo, of all people, Hillary Clinton on her body, or on his body. It's a male, I'm sorry, on his body. And of course, Hillary Clinton heard about it and she was ecstatic about it. Yeah, that's right. Put my face on your body. That's idolatry. That's worshiping a false idol. Now, let's talk about morality for a second here. We have people, especially with the last election that occurred in Alabama, the special election to fill the Senate seat of Jeff Sessions, which you had Roy Moore running against a man by the name of Doug Jones. And Roy Moore has been accused of, when he was in his 30s, of chasing after young teen girls, even trolling the mall and whatnot. And several women have come forward with this story. And people are questioning the morality of those who voted for Roy Moore. But are they questioning their own morality if they supported Hillary Clinton? Now, granted, you didn't have a whole lot of choices the last presidential election here in the United States. You had Donald Trump, and I don't need to tell you about Donald Trump. You see him in the news every day. And, you know, you had the choice of Hillary Clinton after the DNC pretty much sabotaged the rest of the field and tilted the scales in favor of Hillary Clinton. So you really didn't have a lot of choices. You could, of course, as many did, well, not that many, but some people voted for third-party candidates like Jill Stein for the Green Party and what have you. But we know the way the system is rigged between these two parties. Third parties really don't have a chance because they don't have ballot access in every state. Okay, so granted, you did not have a whole lot of choices. But if you're so moral, how could you vote, let alone put a tattoo on your body of Hillary Clinton? This is an immoral woman who has been a rape enabler of her husband, Bill Clinton. I don't even want to get into the allegations of her defending a sexual predator during her law career, her brief law career. But then even as FLOTUS, of course, she defended Bill Clinton even after he got a blowjob in the Oval Office and whatnot. So, she pretty much blamed the woman. So then you had the fact that she helped her husband and the Republicans sell what is known today as the Clinton crime bill. And that was actually written by Joe Biden, but she helped push it. And remember, her infamous words about calling black children and brown children, Hispanic children, super predators, pushing that crime bill in the 90s to where you had a almost 800% increase in the prison population. We still got people in prison today that was sent to jail over victimless nonviolent drug crimes, sent to prison, that is, back in the 90s, and they still in prison. Some of them got life sentences, and y'all might think that Obama did something when he was leaving office and he commuted the sentence of some of these people, a couple of hundred at best. That's not even a drop in the bucket compared to the number of people who were put in prison by the policies of the Clinton administration, which was a bipartisan bill with a Republican House, but Hillary Clinton helped sell. Then not to mention her activities in Honduras, where a military coup occurred backed by the United States. Soon as the coup was over, Hillary Clinton said Honduras is open for business. This also led to a murder of a prominent female activist, indigenous activists down there in Honduras. Then we also got Libya, when she infamously laughed on a stage video about getting the news that Muammar Gaddafi, a U.S. ally at the time of his overthrow, had been murdered. And she laughed and tried to utter a phrase similar to Caesar in the past, saying that we came, we saw, he died, and then gave a evil little wicked laugh. Look at what's happening in Libya today. Have you heard anything from Hillary Clinton or anyone from the Obama administration talk about the plight of African immigrants in Libya who are being enslaved, who are being sold into sexual slavery, who are being crucified and black Christians beheaded on the Libyan beaches? No, you ain't heard them say nothing about it, even after CNN did their little report following years of coverage by independent media and media not based here in the United States. So you want to talk about Roy Moore and call into question the morality of those who voted for him, but at the same time, you're not looking at your own morality or immorality, I should say, when it comes to the documented war criminal and enemy of humanity, Hillary Clinton. Idolatry is akin to fanaticism. People call themselves fans. Well, fan is a what we call a metaphor shortening the word fanatic. Religious fanatics. Ever heard that term? Well, idolatry, again, is speaking to religious fanaticism, and you have to be a fanatic and an idolater in order to get a tattoo of Hillary Clinton on your body. All right, I just wanted to bring up this hypocrisy and point out how America is just steeped in idolatry. This has been Scotty Reed with a Black Talk Radio News Report. Remember to support the independent production of black media. Make a donation today to the U.S.-based nonprofit Black Talk Media Project.org. You can also contribute by joining us at btrcommunity.com. This is Scotty Reed. I'm out. Y'all be safe behind these enemy lines.